Alright guys, so back at this drawing, and I just wanted to point out something really quick, is that I never liked this, and you can see how I expanded it, right? Now I'm feeling a lot better by it. I brought my point of view down lower. I'm not looking so much down on it. I'm more looking out at it. There's some fine tuning I want to do in here, but you don't have to get it right away, right? So anyway, now that I feel better about this, right, I'm going to go in here and start working in here and I hope this comes through somehow about how I'm holding this. You see the curve in that? I'm going to try to utilize that in there. I'm going to use my nails on the paper again, and I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to go like really quick, trying to drop an overall value in here. Well, a lighter value, because I don't want to nail it, make it so dark right away, right? We're going to build up to that, right? You know how I've been talking about drawing as if it's you're cooking? All this stuff I'm making, they're all herbs and spices, right? So why not see what happens with them and experiment instead of going like, I need to have it a certain way, right? So now I know it's not dark as that, and that's fine. As I said, I'm going to build up. In here, what's really important here is the light value there, and then the dark value in here with some of the landscape coming through. I am not going to try to draw everything that should be in there, right? Because what you can do is you can go like, okay, we're going to go out here, and we're going to do this, and we're going to drop in some marks that say, rail and whatnot. And as we come closer, then we'll drop in less. And we might drop in something in here, right, that says this in here. And then also drop that in, and let's drop that in. And we can do the same thing over on this side. Drop some of that in right there, and then go we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there, right? We'll try to, there we go, a little bit correcting that, right? Boom, boom, boom in there, right? And we can work out from there now. We can also go in with a really sharp eraser, and if we get some values in there that we don't like, and we can clean up those negative shapes in between the rails and the posts in that handrail, right? So there we are there, right? Now, oh my God, there's so much. There's so much in here. And if you get caught up like, I need to get this shadow on the side of that handrail, you don't, right? You're just thinking about how you can present this information there and out in there. All right, so we got that going. Let's bring this out a little bit in there. There we go. And maybe we just go in here really quick to say there's the side of the handrail. And we could do the same thing in here by saying there's the side of the handrail, right? We can go back and erase. Now we'll get in here a little bit and we go like, okay, back onto the side of that willow. Light marks, right? I'm seeing there's speckles there, but we'll get to that later. You don't have to get it all at once, right? What's the last thing that goes on a wedding cake? Oh yeah, the bride and groom at the top, right? Oh, I've seen actually bakers create the cake by suspending the bride and groom in the air, and then they build the cake up to it. No, I've never seen that. Come on, guys. All right. Anyway, so we're in here. I am paying attention to the texture in there. I'm thinking about how I'm going to create it. I'm thinking about what overall goes in here, right? I'm thinking about how I want to capture the texture, the roughness, the light glowing over in here, which right away, the light hitting in here, I can go back in and go like, you know what? We're just going to work this in here, and as it comes out, we're going to do this, right? Now that just gives me a rough idea. It's not very clearly presented, is it? Nope, and that's all right. Then over in here, we'll do the same thing. We'll go in there, There, okay. There we go. Now we got that and that. Might want to work on this a little bit by going like, you know what? Up in here I can see the boards going across. Right? And I'm not going to draw every single board, guys. Come on. Now, because I've erased and whatnot, some work needs to happen in here. And that's fine. I have an idea how I'm going to make it happen. All right, so we've got that in there, that in there. We got this water in here in the sky. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go really quick because Chuck's encouraging me to experiment with the marks or the materials I'm using. So I'm going to go in here and hopefully I'm going to get some India ink and I'm going to drop in, you'll see what I'm going to drop in. You'll see it. All right, there's the India ink. All right, there's my water. Oh, got a splash there, but we're going to make it work. Oh, yep, I'm liking that. And because see that highlight right there with the sun around that? I'm going to do what I did in one of those previous drawings with the ocean and the highlight on it, which is under this one. I'm going to try the same thing in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here with my India ink. And I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to think about how the India ink in this area needs to be darker, right? And as it feathers out to each side, it could get lighter down in there and over in there, right? But the first thing I'm going to do is take what little India ink I have, and I'm going to go in here, right? And you know how I'm talking about how it's, your choice of how you want to describe it? All that is true, guys, right? It's like, how do you want to describe this thing? Right? And so all those photographs of images of landscapes I showed you, all those artists were taking liberties with what they saw, right? There we go. There, and there. Pull this out, some out in here. Okay. And you know what? It's my drawing, so I might just say, like, you know what? I'm going to leave this like this. But what I am going to do is I'm going to soften that edge some. So I'm going to go in here and try to break it down by working it some. Right? And dragging it out. There are some other things you can do. You can wet the paper ahead of time. Right? You can wet that paper ahead of time. And then put the ink down and it'll fan it. It'll bleed out. Right? So maybe we should try that up in here. Right? So let's get this down. There's some work that's going to happen in here. All right? Now I'm feeling good about that. And then let's go in here. Let's just take the water. Let's get this paper wet. We'll bring it up to the edge of that tree line.